What's going on, you guys? So, yeah, it's been a little minute, man. It's been a little minute. You know, at one point I was putting out videos, 5 videos a day. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I've been doing some things in real life, moving and doing this and that. I just haven't have time to really even indulge in boxing. And let's just be honest, ain't really much going on right now for us to really, you know, it's just getting kind of old, even to me. You know, like, I like the trash talk, I like to talk, but even that gets old. And when you don't really know when boxing is coming back, it's like, okay, I'm gonna talk about this, but there's nothing that's gonna come from it. All these dudes is talking, but we gonna see what they really about when it's time to fight again. You know what I'm saying? Because then they go act like they never say anything to each other at all. But yeah, Chris Eubank Jr. came out and said that Jermall Charlo, he hasn't fought anyone that has weak wins. So basically, he gonna have to see him. This is one of those things where, you know, the fighters are taking shots at each other. Now, we already heard rumors that Jermall Charlo and Chris Eubank Jr. was probably gonna fight. You know, you heard that Chris Eubank Jr. is waiting for Canelo to vacate whatever belt he has left at 160, and you know he may get elevated to the, you know, the champion at 168 for the WBA, and then him and Charlo could have an in-house unification fight. You know, that was the fight that we just heard about was supposed to be happening next, but it just didn't happen because of the coronavirus. Coronavirus set a lot of things back, set a lot of people back, set the world back. But Chris Eubank Jr. had quite a bit to say about Jermall Charlo. As we've seen recently, Jermall Charlo finally came out of hiding and spoke about, you know, he's talked to Eddie Hearn, he spoke about the Andrade fight, and he said, 168, here I come. I found that pretty, how you gonna go up to 168 without fighting Andrade, bro? See, that's why I don't... Bro, you can't even talk about 168 unless you see Demetrius Andrade, bro. Like, what is wrong with this dude? He don't want to fight him, okay? He don't want to fight Demetrius Andrade, people. When Demetrius, every time I think about Charlo and Andrade, that press conference come up in my head, that post-fight press, when Andrade pulled up on him and said, you know, that always comes to in my head when I think about Andrade and Charlo. Why? Because I felt that Andrade really punked the shit out of this dude, and dude never really, you know, redeemed himself from that. He seemed like he don't want to fight the guy, but Chris Eubank Jr. is talking trash. You know, he says that, you know, I've bumped into him a couple of times. You know, we had a press conference. Both of our fights were in New York. He is not a likable guy. I ain't got my British accent today. It's early. I ain't like doing it. Some people say I'm arrogant or cocky, but I'm down to earth. Decent guy. Man, get out of here, Chris. This guy's head is in the clouds. He thinks that he's more than what he is. I will take great pleasure in taking him down a peg or two. So... I like Chris Eubank Jr., man. I really do. You know what I'm saying? He's looking for the smoke with Jermall Charlo. Not too many guys is looking to fight Jermall Charlo like that, but Chris Eubank Jr. is one of them, along with Demetrius Boo-Boo Andrade. You know, Canelo Alvarez don't want no parts of the Charlos. It's funny. Boxing is just so funny. Eubank Jr. will be willing to face Charlo as soon as possible, once coronavirus pandemic is resolved. So soon as this shit is over with this coronavirus, Eubanks Jr. said, I'm ready for the smoke right away. Let's go. Let's get right into the action. No tune-ups, no nothing. Let's do it. I'm ready for war. Charlo. That's what Eubanks said, man. So you're going to have to answer this call. There's a lot of calls that needs to be answered once boxing returns. A lot of dudes that will have to back up a lot of words that they said during this little time we've been off from the sport of boxing. A lot of dudes going to have a lot of backing up dudes. And I remember everything everybody said too. Even though I haven't been talking about it, I've been watching, I see it, I remember it. Boom. I'm going to remember that now. And now 3 months, 5 months from now, whenever boxing in the world gets back to normal, I'm going to be looking for you, dude. And I'm going to be waiting for you to follow up on what the shit you said. You go fight this dude, you was talking all that shit during a little pandemic break. Now all of a sudden, you act like you didn't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? Watch, this is what's gonna happen. I'll be highly surprised if we get some of these big fights with some of these guys that we've been wanting to fight. I'll be surprised if they mix it up later on this year, early next year, whatever they gonna do it. Absolutely. I don't like his character. This is Eubanks Jr. He don't like Charlo. He said, I don't like this dude's character. He's got the belt, so it'll always be interest. Anyone with the belt in my division, I want to fight. At this stage of my career, I can't afford to take any steps back, so title fights and big names are all I want. This is all Chris Eubank Jr. said he wanted. He said he is far from impressed with the Charlo's level of competition at junior middleweight and middleweight. Charlo held the IBF title at 154 pounds before vacating and heading up to 160. He hasn't fought anyone. He hasn't had any big tests. Until he fights someone like me, we will never know how good he is. Anyone can look big and strong and fast against weak opponents. That's all he had in his career. Until he fights somebody like me, he will find out that this isn't the game he thought it was. Chris spitting that fire. Jermall Charlo gonna have to get on Instagram Live again, and he's gonna have to just start talking his shit. Just talk some shit. You know what I'm saying? This could be built up into a pretty big fight, because I'm not sure if the UK fans really ride with Eubank Jr. like that, but they will be interested if one of their guys was talking shit to one of the Charlos. Charlo, you need to respond to this. Charlo, you have to do a lot more, bro. You gotta do a lot more. You sit back in mansions, riding in Rolls Royces, but you haven't fought nobody, you haven't done nothing, nobody don't see enough of you do. It's a lot of questions that we still need to know from Jermall Charlo. Jermall Charlo, we gotta know what he's about. You know what I'm saying? But Jermall Charlo, it's a lot of questions. But tell me what you guys think. Chris Eubank Jr. said Jermall Charlo hasn't fought anybody. Like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.